Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 10 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Pitt County where a man is now behind bars after he failed to register a change of address. 42-year-old Marcus Knight was arrested by Pitt County deputies yesterday morning after he did not notify the sheriff's office that he moved from his 102 Ford Street home. Now, Knight is on the sex offender registry after he was convicted in 2003 of having indecent liberties with a child. Now, Knight is in the Pitt County Jail, currently under a $25,000 bond. And other things happening today, we turn to Alaska, where a summit between President Trump and President Putin regarding the Ukraine-Russia war will be happening, and a potential ceasefire hopefully could be in the works. NBC's Alice Barr has more from Washington.
This morning, President Trump heading to Alaska to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin face-to-face in the hopes of moving a step closer to ending Russia's 3-year all-out assault on Ukraine.
If it's a bad meeting, it'll end very quickly. And if it's a good meeting, we're going to end up getting peace in the pretty near future.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was not invited to Alaska, but President Trump hopes for a swift follow-up, including all parties.
All I want to do is set the table for the next meeting, which should happen shortly.
Zelensky meeting instead this week with European allies, signaling their support and determination to hold the line against further Russian aggression, including prioritizing a ceasefire and security guarantees for Ukraine over any talk of giving up Ukrainian territory.
The president's hope is to achieve some stoppage of fighting so that those conversations can happen.
Secretary of State Rubio among the high-level U.S. officials set to join today's talks following a one-on-one between Presidents Trump and Putin and capped by a press conference, though it's not clear if both presidents will take questions. During a 2018 Helsinki summit, President Trump took criticism for appearing to defer to Putin over questions about Russian meddling in the 2016 election. In recent weeks, he's sharpened his tone as Putin has defied repeated calls to stop the assault on Ukraine.
We get a lot of bull thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth.
Now voicing optimism that both sides will agree to a long-sought peace. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, thank you very much, Alice, for that report. We now want to turn to your weather forecast, where we continue to monitor Erin for further intensification. It has grown since yesterday, and since, of course, it's first formed. Now, still a tropical storm. Do want to highlight that. This has not become a hurricane quite just yet. However, we could certainly see this thing become a hurricane by the time we get to our next update, which is set to come at the top of our next hour, coming up at 11 a.m. But currently, maximum sustained winds of 70 miles an hour come with gusts of 85 miles an hour. Pressure at 998 millibars, down from the level it first started out, which was around 1,004 millibars, but still further drop with that pressure is expected here as we head through the weekend and into next week. Now it's moving west at around 17 miles an hour. We already have some watches up there for the northern Leeward Islands, but here's a look at that official track, potentially splitting Cape Hatteras and Bermuda. Now, it is expected to become a major hurricane by the time we reach Sunday at around 2 a.m. That has been a consistent part of the National Hurricane Forecast thus far, but it's more important, what is it going to do once it gets past, say, the Dominican Republic or past the Turks and Caicos Islands? How far west is this thing going to shift? It will impact our beaches. That much we know. We are looking at higher rip current threats starting by the time we get to Tuesday, potentially even Monday night, but certainly by Tuesday. High rip current threats, particularly across all southern and southeastern facing beaches. And even I think by the time we get to Wednesday, perhaps Thursday, even beaches north of Cape Hatteras will see high rip current threats. We'll also have high surf. Beach erosion will be an issue. Potential for perhaps maybe some ocean overwash as we head not through this weekend, but through the following weekend along the Outer Banks, particularly across Highway 12. That's a look at the impacts we're more confident in right now. we could potentially see some rain and wind out of this system, but for right now, it does not look like anything is imminent in that regard. That's more of an uncertain part of the forecast, whether or not we'll see a storm surge or even, again, rain showers and some thunderstorms out of that system, at least out of some of the outer bands. Now, we do need to highlight another system right now that's brewing just off the coast of Brownsville, Texas, kind of the southern tip of Texas. Area of concern has a 50% chance of tropical development here over the next 48 hours and over the next 7 days. Next name up on the list is Fernand. But let's talk about what we've got here in eastern North Carolina over the next several days. Of course, today is Friday. We're working towards a weekend, and we will still have some rain showers present across parts of eastern North Carolina coming up tomorrow. For right now, rain showers across the Pamlico Sound, extending over the Outer Banks, still coming down. A few rumbles of thunder associated with those showers, again, continue to work their way further eastward, but the low pressure system itself is a slow mover, so we're not anticipating a completely dry forecast until we get later on into the evening tonight, potentially even later on Saturday. Now, current air temperatures reading in the mid 70s to most of the mid 80s. Right now, you could argue Stumpy Point showing 86 degrees, but most eastern North Carolinians reporting 80-degree air temperatures right now, more in the low 80s, anywhere between around 80 to 82 degrees. Regardless, today we are going to warm up, maybe not get quite as warm as yesterday, but certainly close to it. Anticipating air temperatures will approach that 90-degree mark. Some of us may get there, but humidity right now down from where we were yesterday ever so slightly by about 1 to 2 degrees. Any sort of decrease is encouraged, but a big reason why we're seeing that decrease in humidity is the presence of that low pressure system shifting the winds. Yesterday we had a steady flow of air out of the west-southwest, and that brought in that higher humidity. Today, we've got kind of an opposing wind, more of a north to northeasterly breeze across the east, and even though wind speeds are fairly light, the consistency of that wind is important. It will help bring air temperatures down, particularly overnight. Now, I'm anticipating more of a drop, at least a noticeable drop, once we get from Saturday into Sunday. That's when we'll have a better opportunity for that drier, cooler air to really reach us, and that is going to feel quite nice. Now, Saturday, there will still again be an opportunity for some rain showers kind of developing on the backside of that low pressure system. There will still be some cloud cover around eastern North Carolina, but as we wake up Sunday, a little bit of cloud cover there. That's going to be departing quickly. 68 degrees overnight, Saturday night into Sunday morning. Anytime you can get down into the upper 60s, you're dealing again with cooler and drier air, meaning humidity will be more suppressed, making it feel quite a bit more comfortable than what we got done with, of course, yesterday. Now, I do want to say good morning to Darnett Gardner and Emily White. Still taking this over 90 degrees plus any day of the week. I could not agree more, Emily. Seeing again, even the low 90s coming up next Sunday and Monday. I know humidity is going to be down, so not worried about it at all. Now, of course, what we do need to worry about is that progress with Aaron. Again, coming up at 11 a.m., we will have the latest from the Hurricane Center. You can catch up with that right here on the First Alert Desk with me, coming up in just under 1 hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Friday. We'll see you back here in about an hour.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.